Folks, the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection is now out, and I wanted to find out, is this everything that we've been waiting for? I mean, guys, we've been waiting a long time. You haven't been able to legally purchase any version of some of these games for over 10 years. But now they're here, and has it been worth the wait? Well, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, I think 90% this collection is where it needs to be. But the fact that there's that 10% that is bugged or missing or broken in some way just kind of makes it extra frustrating that we've been waiting so long, and now we get this product that is so close to perfect, but it's missing a few things. So I saw a bunch of people have done reviews already, and they did them before online play was available, which I'm not really a fan of. I wanted to talk about the whole package, including the online, but let's start out and talk about the things that I think are really good about this collection. Obviously, I feel like it kind of goes without saying that it's just really amazing that this product exists at all. I mean, all these games have been delisted due to licensing, copyright type reasons with Marvel. But whatever Capcom did, you know, they clearly worked their butts off to get all these titles available for us to play, which I really, really appreciate. And they didn't just do the bare minimum in terms of games. They pretty much got every single Marvel versus game that anyone cares about is in here, which is really great. And also there's the Punisher, which is not even a fighting game, but it's still cool that it's in here. And in terms of like the baseline technical performance of these games, it seems to be quite good. I mean, to me it feels right, but obviously, you know, that's purely subjective. But people have done testing and found that on the PS4 version, the input lag is basically identical to the Dreamcast version, which has been the tournament standard for so many years. So yeah, in terms of how the games actually play, they seem to have done a great job translating it. In terms of the other features in the game, yeah, we got the museum, and this is actually pretty cool. You know, some of the stuff in here I think is really neat. You know, they've got the concept art. A lot of this I've never seen before, so I'm glad that this is in here. There's also, this is kind of like a silly feature, but I kind of like it. You can press X here, and then you'll get this slideshow that shuffles through. So here I can hide the UI, and with my hands not touching anything, it'll just slowly, randomly cycle through everything. So this is kind of cool if you like have a party where you have people over, and people are playing on one TV, and then you got another TV that no one's playing on. You can just put this on and it looks cool. Or if you're like a streamer and you have like a monitor in the background, you can just play this and it looks really cool. So I actually kind of like this feature, even though I think 99% of players won't care about this. We've also got the fighter awards, which, you know, this is like a decent way to kind of incentivize you to play through the games in different ways and get all these little awards. I do kind of wish that these were a little more in-depth. Like pretty much all of these are just beat the game with every character in the game, which is, you know, kind of boring just to like rote play through the game. I kind of wish they had more unique stuff like, oh, do a 100-hit combo or whatever, or like maybe they could have something thematic, like do Ryu super into Cyclops super, because those are like the two characters on the cover. Something like that would be cool. But yeah, the ones that they do have are kind of cool. Like, oh, you know, deal damage to the active and reserve character at the same time. So basically hit the assist and the point character at the same time. There's some cool little stuff like that to incentivize you to try different stuff. Training mode I've also found to be quite nice in this game. You know, it's pretty much what you would expect, but there's a couple nice features. Obviously, we've got dummy recording and playback, which was something that we could not do on the Dreamcast, so I'm really happy to see that here. We've got hitbox display, which I don't think has ever been in any of these games before, which, you know, is useful to a degree, at least to see, you know, why is this move hitting in this specific way? You can check it out with the hitbox viewer, and I believe hitbox viewer was broken in the early build that we got to try at EVO, but it does seem to be fixed now. From what I've seen, all the hitboxes actually do match up with what you can find online. I like that it has quick reset, so you can just press one button and you can reset the game. It makes it a lot easier to practice certain things. I do wish that you could switch sides. There's a lot of combos that I want to do starting in the corner, and that's kind of annoying to do. You can only put the opponent in the corner. You can't put yourself in the corner. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying. But another feature that's really, really nice, I don't know if other fighting games have done this, but if you use the right stick, you can control the opponent. So just using the right stick on the controller, you can move the opponent around. So that's pretty useful because, like, yeah, you can reset to the corner, and then some characters actually can't throw out of the corner. Like, I think Jill can't. But if you use the right stick, you can walk the opponent out of the corner a little bit and then put yourself in. So yeah, that's actually low-key a really cool thing. It kind of gives me the idea that, yeah, they actually thought about things that will be helpful for the players. Another nice feature, you can set the input delay online, which I quite like this feature. I kind of wish every fighting game had this. If you're okay with seeing rollbacks and you want a very low latency experience, you can turn this all the way down. If you really hate seeing rollbacks and you're okay with a little more latency, you can turn this up. So this is just the number of frames of delay that will happen when you're playing online. So this is great. Every game should have this. So yes, overall, 90%, like I said, I think they did a really great job of translating this game over and giving us the features that are kind of expected out of a modern product. But let's talk about that 10%, okay? Let's talk about the things that are kind of frustrating me and annoying me about this port that, you know, worry me a little bit because it took so long to get this game to come out. So it's like, is this just going to be what we're stuck with forever with these annoying little tiny things? So let's talk about them. First of all, there is no crossplay. I guess maybe this is to be expected. Crossplay is kind of like a premium feature that we don't see in every fighting game, but I mean, come on, it would be really, really nice, especially I feel like certain consoles are probably going to have a smaller player base, like the Xbox version isn't coming out for a while, so will they even be able to find that many opponents when that comes out? It might be tricky. It would be really, really amazing if this was cross-platform, and that would give us an incentive for PC players to actually shell out for this game versus continuing to play on emulator, which is what most hardcore fans have been doing for the last, you know, forever. Another huge missed opportunity with this port is there is no quick rematch. So in local versus, after every game, it's going to be exactly like it was in all the previous versions where you got to reselect all your characters. So yeah, like we've been doing this for, you know, 25 years or whatever. We have been going through and reselecting our characters between every match. So I guess we're used to it, but like this was such an opportunity for them to make the perfect version where we can just hit the rematch button and get back into the game and not have to do this. Like that would make such a difference because sometimes it honestly feels like character select takes longer than the actual match with how fast some of the teams can kill in this game. So yeah, I really, really wish that they could have put in quick rematch. This even applies to online, which is really unfortunate. When you play a match online, you hit rematch at the end, and you are going to go back to character select, which is just kind of frustrating to me. They did add cursor memory, which is, you know, it's pretty nice. So what happens is when you go back to character select, it remembers what you picked, so you can just mash the square button or whatever and repick the same team. So, you know, that's kind of nice. That's a time saver. But that can also be a little bit annoying because if you want to switch teams, you have to go and pick the new team, and then it'll have the wrong assist selected because it thinks, oh yeah, on P1 you had A assist, so pick A, but it's like, no, I have to scroll through. And then your muscle memory is all messed up because in the old games we're used to starting at A and then scrolling down to the one we want. But in this one, it remembers what you picked, so it might start you at B and then you scroll down twice and you're at A. So anyway, I see what they were going for with the whole cursor memory thing, and it's better than nothing. But a rematch would just be better. And, you know, obviously I'm not a game developer, but I have to imagine, couldn't they just save a save state and then reload the save state after you hit rematch so that you're back at the start of the match? I don't know. That's how I would do it. Which, you know, theoretically in local versus you could do that, right? You could quick save at the start of the match. And then we play our match or whatever, and then, you know, at the win screen, we could pause and do load quick save. But, you know, you have to click through a lot of stuff to load this, so that's kind of annoying. It takes a little while. You have to close the menu, and also only P1 can do that. So if P2 wants to reload the quick save, they actually can't. It's not on the menu. So, yeah, it's not great. So I really, really wish there was rematch. That would be a killer feature that would literally make this port better than every other version of the game we had. So, yeah, it's a little bit annoying that that's not in. By the way, did you guys notice the clock is still correct on Clock Tower stage? Let me just point that out. I'm filming this at 12:11 p.m. right now. It's 12:11 in game. Let's go. So I'm glad that that one made it in too. And then the other big annoyance I have with the game is balance changes. So you guys may have heard about this. They have patched out a few things in the game. They have been weirdly selective about what bugs and exploits are in the game and which ones aren't. So for example, Juggernaut has always had this glitch where he can power up and then tag out, and then when you tag him back in, he has a permanent power-up, but that's not in the game. You can see this does 17 normally, and it does 20 when he's powered up, but yeah, the power-up glitch does not carry over. So they removed that, which, you know, Juggernaut is not a very good character. He's like a mid-tier character, and this makes him pretty bad. Without that glitch, he's not really viable. Anakaris is another example. So Anakaris has this very famous infinite where he curses you that makes you unable to block, and then he's able to combo again into his curse. But as you can see here, if you combo into curse in this game, they do not transform. So normally, anytime they get hit with this curse, if they're not already cursed, they will transform into the little dummy that cannot block. But in this game, it does not work. So this takes Anakaris from like maybe an upper mid character to not that good. This infinite helped him out a lot. He still has some stuff, but yeah, it's a little weird, right? It's like, why hurt these mid-tier characters while like one of the best characters in the game, Iron Man, yeah, his infinite is untouched. This is still in the game. So it's fine to let him have this, but we can't let Anakaris have his infinite or Juggernaut have his glitch. Magneto infinite as well is still in the game. So yeah, they didn't mess with this. And other glitches are still in the game, you know, like Doom unblockable sweep is still in the game. He can still do that. Sentinel unblockable. Let's see if I can actually do it here. This might take a few tries. Oh! I think I got it right there, yeah. So Sentinel, unblockable, crouching heavy punch if you hit on the right frame. That's still in. So it just seems a little strange to me. Like, if their goal was to fix glitches and exploits in the game, why did they leave so many of them and only take them away from low-tier characters? There might be more that we don't know about besides Juggernaut and Anakaris, but those are the only ones that I've found so far. Let me know if you guys are aware of any other ones that have been changed. And, you know, maybe that they didn't mean to remove those. Maybe it's, you know, an accident. Because there are, like, actual game-breaking glitches that literally, like, freeze the game or make it unplayable. Like Gambit glitch, that one's fixed. Thank God. Ruby Heart as well had a glitch where if you hold taunt, you could like freeze the game and totally break things. That's completely gone. So part of me wonders, like, did they do some kind of memory fix to, like, I don't know, remove these things that were glitching out the game's memory and freezing it, and that had the knock-on effect that it removed Juggernaut glitch? I don't know. Maybe I'm just experimenting, but I at least wish that they would have given us some kind of statement of like, this is what we're allowing in the game and this is what we're removing. Because it's just kind of annoying that, you know, if they run tournaments on this version, there's always going to be a little asterisk, right? There's always going to be a little asterisk of, this is not the version that we've been playing for 20 years. This is a rebalanced version. Even though it's really minor ways so far from what we know, it's just a little bit annoying that this isn't the exact version that I think all the hardcore players wanted. The same thing with X-Men versus Street Fighter, by the way. This is not the version that we're all used to from tournament. This is not the standard tournament version, at least that we play here in America. You can see Cyclops, when he does his jumping fierce, it like sends them straight to the ground so he can't combo off it. Whereas in the version that most of us are used to playing in this game, his jump fierce kind of launches them up and lets him combo off it, which enables a lot of his infinites and a lot of his really long and crazy combos. So yeah, this is not the same version of the game that most people who play this game hardcore actually play on. And this version still has infinites. It's not like this is some super balanced version that doesn't have any broken stuff in it. No, this still has infinites. It just doesn't have the same ones that are in the other version that we're used to playing in tournaments. So yeah, it's just a little bit weird. I kind of wish they had given us the option to select which version of the game we play. Like, we can pick English versus Japanese, but yeah, allegedly for the Capcom versus SNK 2 re-release, they're going to include both versions, the original version and the EO version that removed roll canceling. So most tournament players don't want to play on EO, so it's nice that the option is still there to choose the old version. So it would be nice if we still had that for this as well. One other annoying thing is that online, when a character dies, there's no like big screen flash and screen freeze to indicate that they died. You can see it right there. Like, what happened? There was no flash. There's just like a tiny bit of slowdown. Which is really, really weird. That's really, really hard to get used to. Like, every single time I kill a character, I like second guess it. I'm like, did the character actually die? Why was there no like indication that the character died? So that is super weird and feels really wrong. And there actually is a setting. There's a light reduction setting which I think is for like photosensitivity. You can turn this on. So I don't know if there's a bug where this is on by default, or maybe they removed the screen flash because of rollback. They don't want like a frame 1 screen flash that gets rolled back. I really don't know, but I hope that they're able to patch that. And I also hope they're able to patch the Juggernaut and Anakaris things as well, or even if they don't want to patch those in, at least give us some kind of guidance of like, hey, here's what's changed in this version. Here's what our goals are in this version in terms of like what's legal and what's allowed. Because right now, it's kind of like if you go for some really obscure combo or glitch or whatever and it doesn't work, you kind of have to second guess yourself, and you're like, now did that not work because I did it wrong because I dropped it, or did it not work because it's another stealth change in the game that we don't know about? Like maybe this other piece of tech is also removed and we don't know. So yeah, will these things affect you? Most of them, if you are just a casual player, if you're not a tournament or a hardcore player, probably not. But I just think it's a little bit, you know, disappointing in some sense that we've waited so long for this version of the game and they're just almost there. They almost got everything perfect, but there's just a couple things that are kind of head scratchers, you know? So those are my overall thoughts. So should you buy the game? I think if you're at all interested in playing these versus games, even if you've never played them before, you should definitely buy it. It is a good package. The games play really well, and there's just a lot of games in here for your money. And there's other fun stuff like, you know, getting the awards and, you know, checking out what's in the museum. I think it's worth it. I am just asking the developers, you know, can we get one patch? One patch, please, to fix these tiny little annoyances. And, you know, instant rematch would be incredible if we could get that. That might be too big for a patch, but if we could get that, you know, I would give the game a perfect score. But for now, yeah, I think it's worth picking up, but I just want to let you guys know there are a couple of weird things in the game that keep it from being perfect. But that's about all I have to say about this. I'm going to have some gameplay videos coming out in the future. I've had a lot of fun playing ranked so far, and I'm going to keep doing it and hopefully show you guys some cool teams and cool strategies that you can try out. But I'm going to end the video there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.